Howdy everybody, welcome to the channel. So today, as you saw in the thumbnail or the description, well, we destroyed a belt for a 1025R John Deere. So today I get to have the pleasure of figuring out how to remove the deck and putting this on. So we just bought this used a couple months ago, and we just bought 10 acres. So let's just jump into learning how to remove the mower deck. And because everything I've seen, we've got to remove the two pieces that the front tires drive over, and then also move the gearbox so we can put a new belt on. It's what it looks like. So anyway, let me figure that out. And then the next thing in the video following this, we need to do its first maintenance, or at least our first maintenance as owners. So anyway, let's just jump into getting this belt replaced. Well guys, that was way easier than I thought. Once I put it in four-wheel drive and watched a video myself, came off real nice and easy. So now, like I said, I'm gonna clean this deck off. We need to remove this, and it looks like it'll be a couple of 13 millimeter nuts we need to remove from there and there and there. Then we need to remove the gearbox here. And then we can go ahead and I'll have to look up how to route the belt. But yeah, it doesn't look too bad so far. So let me clean this up a little bit, and then we'll come right back and remove these fasteners. All right, guys, so I just zipped this one off with the impact gun real quick. These are a nylon lock nut that came off, so we need to remove that shield. And then we'll clean all the crap out of it while we're at it. Make sure everything spins free, because you know the belt broke, right? I just want to make sure nothing's seized, right, that caused the issue. So we'll zip these two off real fast. Reach back here. Get this one removed somehow. There we go. Good enough. And then we'll clean again all the crap out of here. Trying not to lose the nuts while I do it. Anyway, I'll get the shop vac over here and we'll shop all that crap out here in a second. But now, let's see, nope, those are not 13 millimeter. Those are definitely a little bit bigger. Then we get the right size socket for those. That one's an 18. The rest of these here, and here are all 15 millimeter. So now we'll go ahead and I'm not going to take these two off. I'm just going to take these two here off, and then these two in the back off. And then we can lift the gearbox out of the way and start the belt routing. So guys, we are going to have to knock this spring out. And I dropped in a picture of the belt routing from another mower deck because I had to look it up. So let me remove this spring here, and then we'll route this. It looks like it goes around the back, comes around here, comes up like this, goes around like that, and I believe it went back up like this and then around. So let me go ahead and knock this spring off here, and then we'll give it a try. The other thing before I forget, guys, grease zerks here, here, and there. Make sure grease these up since you've got this thing apart. If you haven't greased it in a while, it's probably not a bad idea to do that. The other thing is we could also check the fluid, in the gearbox. See that little, plug there? Basically, you fill it to the plug. So we could also make sure your hydraulic fluid is also full in your gearbox. Sorry guys, I don't have a stand. I broke my camera mount. But you notice, right, we've got the belt wrapping around the back, around, that pulley. The front of this one, it curls around, goes to the behind the gearbox, in front of the tensioner here, and then back around. Now, to pull this big spring back up and on here, so what I did is, you can see I've got my foot here to keep this from flipping up, but basically I just took, right, a strap, ratchet strap, connect it to the end of the spring, the other end to our front bar here, gave it a few, ratchets, and you can see it easily mounted, the spring back on. So now I'm going to go ahead and loosen the ratchet up, and I just need to fasten the bolts for the gearbox, put the covers back on here, and then we are all done with replacing the belt. So guys, I just used this pry bar here to get on that spring and just carefully knock it off. So, it was pretty easy to remove this spring. So that way we can get our belt, around there. And when you put your belt on, right, don't slip it this way. Take the tension, you want to push it back towards the center like that. And then it's real easy to get everything, back together. And there we go, guys. All I got to do now is drive the tractor back onto the mower deck and connect it. And my wife can go out and mow the yard. Yep, you heard me right. I have yet, the first time I've ever driven this tractor was just now when I pulled it off the mower deck and pulled it, getting ready to pull it back on the mower deck. I broke my leg back on July 3rd, so I'm finally getting back around and moving around. So yeah, the first time I get to drive it is to fix it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this simple video.